Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi ala ihsani wa syukrun lahu ala taufiqihi wa amtinani wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah ta'ziman li sya'ni wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu ad-da'i ila ridwani. Allahumma salli ala alihi wa ashabihi wa ikhwani. Good morning, my Soleh and Soleha students. How are you today? I hope all of you in good condition. Today we are going to discuss and continue our topic in English for grade 9, chapter 6, based on your textbook. The topic is telling the time. My Soleh and Soleha students, we inshallah will learn how to tell the time correctly in English. So at the end of this explanation, we hope all of you can tell the time in English correctly. The first explanation about telling the time, we have to look one example of clock, an analog clock. This is an analog clock face. The numbers around the clock face are hours. The numbers around the clock face are hours. There are 12 hours marked on the clock. As you can see, there are 12 numbers on the analog clock. And also, when we're telling the time, we have to understand the following description. The first is the lines around the edge are minutes. Take a look at the arrow. The lines around the edge are minutes, are called minutes. There are 60 minutes marked on the clock. This is because there are 6 minutes in 1 hour. We have known that 1 hour means 60 minutes. And also, we can skip count by fives. If we skip count by fives, so we know that 60 minutes are on the clock. We know that 60 minutes are on the clock. There are 5 minutes from 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and so on. So the total is 60 minutes if we skip count by 5. And also, in telling the time, we have to know about the small hand and the big hand. There are two hands of an analog clock. The small hand points to the hours. The small hand points to the hours, the red one. And then the big hand points to the minutes. The big hand points to the minutes, the purple one. So when the big hand points to the 12, the time is o'clock. When the big hand points to the 12, the time is called a clock. So based on this picture, we can tell the time of this analog clock. It is 3 o'clock. It is 3 o'clock. My Soleh and Soleha students, in an analog clock there are 4 quarters. There are 4 quarters. If we slice the clock into 4 equal sections, we will have 4 quarters. Each quarter represents a 15-minute section. Each quarter represents a 15-minute section. So the first quarter, 12 to 3, 12 to 3, and then the second quarter, 3 to 6, 3 to 6, and the third quarter, 6 to 9, 6 to 9, and the last quarter, 9 to 12, 9 to 12. And also, when the big hand moves from the 12 to the 3, it is quarter past the hour. When the big hand moves from 12 to the 3, it is quarter past the hour. This is because the big hand has moved quarter of the way around the clock face. Take a look at the green color. That is the first quarter. So we have to say quarter past. Quarter past. When the big hand moves from 12 to the 6, it is half past the hour. So when the big hand moves from 12 to the 6, the time is called by half past. Half past. This is because the big hand has moved half of the way around the clock face. So take a look at the analog clock. So we can tell this time of this picture. It is half past 4. It is half past 4. When the big hands moves from 9 to the 12, 9 to the 12, it is quarter to. It is quarter to the hour. This is because the big hand only has quarter of the clock face to move to get to the next clock. To get to the next clock. So when the big hand moves from 12 to 3, we call it quarter past. When the big hand moves from 9 to the 12, we call it quarter to. Now we have another example of digital clock. This is a digital clock. The hours are to the left of the column. The minutes are to the right of the column. Yeah, the minutes are to the right of the column. You can see this on your cell phone or your microwave at home. AM and PM. 12 AM is midnight. We are sleeping at this time. 12 PM is noon. We eat lunch at this time. When we say AM, we are referring to the hours before noon. When we say PM, we are referring to the hours past noon. To the hour past noon. AM and PM. Easy way to remember AM and PM. AM after midnight. PM past morning. AM after midnight. PM past morning. Thanks for your attention. Barakallahu fikum wa jazakallahu khairan. معكم التوفيق والسداد. نكتفي بهذا القدر. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.